Travis Wingetzel. Going grocery shopping really wears me out. Still didn't get everything I intended to get though. Still have a couple of cases of water and 3 jars of applesauce and 10 Mountain Dews and a partridge in a pear tree. Last month I bought food for 2 months other than bread, because bread expires. So bread was bought today for the month, but because I had food for 2 months this month, I prepared just in case the 200-year plot goes through on 9/11. And because I'm the only one who knows about it, other than the enemy who's causing it, I guess it can be kind of frustrating for people and disbelieving, because it's easy to see hurricanes a week in advance. It's easy to see tornadoes a week in advance because of the weather forecasting that's available to us through online sites and local news. And so it's easy to prepare a week in advance so that you're not rushing to the grocery store hours before they hit and having to find shelter minutes before it hits. And yet nonetheless, there are just too many people who just refuse to prepare for calamity. But in this particular case, this is an enemy that will cause this. And so there's no real confirmation other than through leaks who try to warn about the threat. And that's how we got the Book of Mormon. As Mormons demand and insist with the sword, or shall I say the javelin of Teancum, that it's literal history of non-Trinitarian Jesus. And then you have ex-Mormons who say it's just a fraud, plagiarism. There's no redeeming value in it. Both of you are wrong. And that's the trap. As a dumbass the other day that I did the comment review of tried to justify the prophets going silent rather than warning of the specific danger that is before us. And I told you, as of the October conference last year, to pay attention to see if the prophets would mention the bicentennial year this year and have anything planned or prepared to mention it or talk about it or go over it. And talked about how the church is in a conundrum because they released the Joseph Smith papers. That it exposes that the church has still been lying to us, despite the gospel topic essays that confess to lying to us. as it goes all the way back to Mormon apologists with the September 6th that lied to us to defend the church. Defense with lies. That's the meaning of apologist. Going all the way back to Heber J. Grant, who resurrected the church from the grave and lied that it was ever in the grave in the first place, but officially designated the church as Evangelical Mormonism, non-Trinitarian. As Brigham Young, before that point, was Adam as Heavenly Father Church. And so thus the branch-offs, other than Heber J. Grant, are still that Adam God branch-offs with polygamy. But the church lies, and so Mormons lie. All this so that they can conceal what they're planning to do, and that's murder you. That's why they're keeping it a sacred secret. And so it's just stupid for trolls to come onto my channel and think that they can sneak a comment by when I hold all comments for a review to deceive Mormons into thinking that all is well in Zion. Because President Nelson hasn't warned us, and therefore everything is fine, nothing's going to happen. And so you miss all of the clues that they're giving you. That if you were an investigator of getting tips of terrorist threats, you don't know. How do you investigate? Oh no. But they've been leaving clues for us all these 200 years. From Brigham Young putting Lucifer's symbol on the Nauvoo temple and in the sun at noonday position, and then dedicating it on the anniversary of the Illuminati. And then putting it smack dab on the keystone of the doors of the Salt Lake Temple. And yet Mormons are the most gullible and naive the whole world has ever known. So every con artist comes to Utah to scam the Mormons because they're easy targets. And so when a guy like me, who has been prominent in the church, in the underground, life in the underground, there we go. Theme song in the description below. David Bowie from Labyrinth. I don't know if that's the title, but that's the associative memory I have for it. YouTube is decent in figuring that out. And I know David Bowie and Labyrinth, so I can do the soundtrack, find it that way. But yeah, President Nelson has no power over you. Idol God, non-Trinitarian Jesus has no powers. Once you start to realize that, you can wear the pretty dress of Jennifer Connelly. But yeah, when I first watched that, I'm going, this is an anti-drug movie, isn't it? They're teaching us not to do drugs. Especially when you're babysitting your stepbrother. So don't do drugs, kids. Bad. Poor Jennifer Connelly. She really trashed herself. I think she actually did have drug problems, and definitely anemia. But last I heard, she sort of came back. I don't know what she's doing lately. Well, she's on strike now, but... Dear God. So, yeah, I bought food items that I can use for traveling. If and such if. And so, if they don't go through with it, I can still eat it during the month. And resume as normal in October. Although October is going to have the monster cereals. So yeah, I don't want it to happen. I've got stuff I want to do. I've got DVDs that I have to buy, and I went to Graywell and got some more today. So I'm going to try to finish those before Saturday. And so I got a comment by a new subscriber who is concerned, learning all this stuff for the first time and believing it, having left the church. I think they left the church. I don't think it's a matter of not being Mormon at all and concerned, but are you watching my daily countdown? For those of you who have, you know I mix it up so that you won't get bored, so that it's worth clicking on. And so today's, I put in part of yesterday's video, the bombshell, which I guess could be a poor use of wording. But this is why I was so happy in the video, even though it's a tragic situation. When I get discoveries, when I learn something new as a result of a test that I'm running, scientific test, it's exciting to see the results. Because it's the same process that the Book of Mormon tells us to use. I thought it was read, ponder, pray, Travis. Yeah, you missed manifest. The physical 5 senses. Seed has to turn into fruit. If it doesn't turn into fruit, it's worthless. It's dead. That's what Mormons don't understand with their spiritual witness. And so once you get the fruit, yeah, Lehi. What happens when he gets to the fruit and he's eating it? He's got joy, happiness. That's what I feel when I produce fruit from my scientific tests. Book of Mormon's true. Not because you say it is, but because I'm actually implementing what it tells me to implement. To get knowledge. And so I've had to do real church history. I can't trust authors publishing books, whether they're Mormon or anti-Mormon, Korahors, apostates. I don't trust authors. I trust the physical evidence. Authors' opinions are not evidence, even if they're supposedly a witness, as they're writing about it 50 years later, after Brigham Young's threatening them, holding them hostage. And those are the kinds of things you need to pay attention to, but you don't use them as a primary source for your conclusions. And so yes, Joseph Smith getting arrested on the 20th of March, 1826. You don't conclude from that. That's just a piece of the puzzle. You got to put it into the puzzle. You got to gather all of the facts and assemble them together, and then you can see the big picture, and you can begin to test to make conclusions as to whether your conclusion is sound or not. That's when you get joy. And so, yeah, that's what I did. As I've already been studying all about the second coming since I was a kid, being born and raised in the church. You know, you got Benson coming out to the youth of the noble birthright, to us as the Aaronic priesthood, and I just became a priest. Metallica's album just came out. He tells me that it's evil. Master of Puppets. That was awesome. I would play that cassette for my bedtime. And so, yeah, I rarely got to side 2. But, you know, go to sleep to the Master of Puppets. And then he's saying that pregnancy is a pernicious evil. Nobody catches that in the church. He's quoting Miracle of Forgiveness, which is quoting Packer, who's not an authority. He's just giving a conference talk as an apostle in his earlier years. And so, yeah, Kimball, in a book, not at conference, gives a whole long list of sins that you need a dictionary for. And so as a Mormon, yeah, I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Not going to look it up. I'm going to be saved in ignorance. But then Benson makes it official with his solemn assembly conference as the president of the church. So then I have to read it before my mission. Oh, God. So yeah, I think because I did use the dictionary for that long list, and I think there was something about peeing on yourself or something like that. That's just from my memory. I was told for being a Boy Scout for first aid merit badge that if you have athlete's foot, you do want to urinate on your feet. That helps get rid of it. Benson and Kimball call it a sin. They are anti-science after all. Because science is the only way you're going to get someone pregnant. No spiritual witness will cause that. And so, yeah, I learned about the 33 degrees of Brigham Young's Freemasonry. Heber C. Kimball's also. He claims to be of the Orkrites, but he lies. In that Masonry section under Wikipedia, all of that is a lie. A blatant lie. Because when I do my research, I have it sectioned into pages. Persons, places, or events, and dates. So that when I come across a pattern, I can then check the anomalies. And so then I can do fact checking. When they claim that they were in a certain location, I can check the maps. I can check the distance. I check how long it takes a horse to travel in a day, because they didn't have cars. Can't pull anachronism on history. That'll screw up your conclusions. And so, yeah, I'm the one who made many discoveries that ex-Mormons don't care. I'm helping you out, guys. They don't care. They've got their own spiritual witness conclusions that the church is evil and a fraud and Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith. And so they give Brigham Young a pass. And that's the trap. And you fell for it. But I didn't want to do any of this. It's because of being Mormon that I wanted to find answers, wanted to know when the second coming was. I wanted to know Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian. Nobody else was telling me. Everybody was keeping a sacred secret. Everybody was saying, no man knows the day or the hour. Well, then what's the point of telling us in the first place? You're saying we're going to be destroyed, but you're not telling us when? I'm having a little hard time believing that one. So yeah, sure enough, it's all over the Bible. They give us the day and the hour. So somebody tampered with the Bible and added it in. But using linguistic science, you can figure that out. And so what I'm doing by exposing it, as the Book of Mormon purposely didn't come right out specifically and say, hey, there's these bad guys and they're plotting to destroy the United States on 9/11/2023, is because, well, one, they were going to murder whoever had this information. And, oh, they did, didn't they? But yeah, that's pretty much it. The enemy is planning on keeping it a secret, exploiting Christians with the tampered Bible. No man knows the day or the hour. They created the day and the hour of when they were going to do it. And they left clues in flag symbolisms and other symbolisms to let people know who's a part of this evil conspiracy for 200 years. They've been leaving you clues all this time. And the Book of Mormon is right on target. It tells us what the clues are. It tells us what the signs are. It's not just Helaman, chapter 6, saying, oh, they have secret signs and secret words. Be careful. What are they? They tell you in the Book of Mormon. Inverted pentagram of Lucifer. But also the Scottish Rites have the 33 degrees. So when you watch that segment now, because you're going to go back and watch it, right? You're not listening here. That's the frustrating thing. Mormons just don't care to listen. They're about to die. More sacrifices on the altar of Mormonism. And it's just not worth it enough for you to listen. That's all you had to do. And then get out of the church and get out of Utah and take me with you. But yeah, 33 degrees. They're purposely doing it on 9/11, which is their thing, with the 33 days between the total solar eclipse in the first year, prophesied in the scriptures, to the prophesied 23rd of September 2023, 2017, dear God. First day of darkness to Revelation 12. Then the second day of darkness with 33 degrees days after 9/11. They're purposely leaving their mark. If you've ever seen a movie or a TV show of cops and investigations of criminals and so forth, the forensics, they say that They all have their unique bomb-making pattern to identify the bomb maker, the certain marks on the bullets, those types of things. Yeah, they're purposely leaving their mark all over the place to let you know it's them. And so, yes, 9/11, 33 degrees, as I say, or it's 33 days. So that you would know it's this secret organization way back in the beginning. And of course, you get some of them coming out to distract you and say, no, they don't exist anymore. They're not around. They're not a threat. And so then it becomes a conspiracy of nut jobs who accuse the wrong people of being a part of that group. And that's all part of the misinformation, disinformation campaign to confuse people, get them to doubt, get them to guess the wrong day, and then they trigger you like a psychologist, and they laugh at you. You got triggered. Got you to respond, emotional response, emotional reaction. It's all bullying. And yet it became a thing on YouTube. And I think it still is. Response videos. Reaction videos. Hearing Metallica's Master of Puppets for the first time. But yeah, and people fall for it. They're creating box categories for you. You self-fulfill their self-fulfilling prophecy for you. They're playing you as suckers. It's the oldest trick in the book, and psychologists use it. And bullies say, hey, I like that idea. I'm going to use it on my victims. And it's all fun and games until somebody ends up getting in government, seeking to overthrow the government. Because that's exactly what they're doing. MAGA are doing all these triggers of new laws to get an emotional reaction from the deep state Dems when we the people suffer. And you see it all over the place here in Utah. It's MAGA Utah. And Mormons are getting punked. They claim they love the Book of Mormon and they know it's true. And they know that you're not supposed to have a kingdom because those evil king men, you got to be free with a Mosiah constitution. And they don't know how to apply the scriptures in their daily lives. And yet they parrot it in their rote prayers. So frustrating. And so, yeah, I'm hoping that they won't go through with it. Oh no, Travis caught us. I don't think so. I mean, I'm getting the most views I've ever had on this channel. That's blatantly obvious. But I just consider that a coincidental miracle. Because YouTube has been so successful in keeping you from knowing about this information. And so, to wrap it up with you not listening, 9/9 is Nelson's birthday. He'll be 99. That day, Saturday, 3 days, Thursday, Friday, yeah, 3 days away, I did in the video today. It's the memorial of 9/11 in the Jewish calendar. 9/11 happened on Saturday in the Jewish calendar. And so 9/11 is celebrated on Monday. And traditionally, the president and vice president go to the site and speak, which makes it an easy target for them, as we can see that they purposely set that up as the 2 sets of 4, like Joseph Smith warned us for the date in his second vision. And so, yeah, the whole Patriot Act and all that were just to pave the way for what is coming. And it's, you know, it's a situation where I'm running a test and I have to wait for the day to find out if it's going to be confirmed. It's not like a hurricane that I can see coming, or a tornado that I can see coming a week in advance, and I can do a video for you and nobody cares and people put thumbs down. I'm wearing him down. Last month, there was a second person who thought he would start because of the big video I had. A second person decided he was going to put a thumbs down on all my videos. He'll show me. He gave up after, a couple weeks. But the traditional stalker who puts a thumbs down on every video didn't do it until Labor Day evening. He finally did it overnight. Whether he did it right after I went to bed or right before I woke up, I don't know. I don't care. It's a whole day. He's getting lazy these days. And so yesterday, I did my videos, nothing. Until this morning. It took him until this morning. But he missed several of them. That's strange. An anomaly. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to have it postponed. Like I said, I've got things I want to do. I've got a game I invented that I've been trying to invent ever since my '86 dream of my future 2 divorces. At 16 years old, I just become a priest. Benson comes out, says Metallica is evil, and so are pregnant women. I'm the youth of the noble birthright. I was held in reserve for when I'm an adult. Second coming. Sure enough, Benson knew the date. All the prophets knew the date, because Brigham knew the date. He's a part of the group, plotting to overthrow us. That's why tithing is a criminal racket. But I also have, books. I'd like to have it turned into a game, but I have my Civilization 3 still, and I still have the computer. So I want to get that hooked up and going and play that game. Because I'm not going to get another woman in my life. I write women. I can say it now at the end of the video here. And obviously there's lots more female fashion to obtain and work on the fashion portfolios of each of the women. So yeah, and all of the stuff that I'm currently doing about collecting all the history and the news and second coming, which is technically the first coming, because we're learning of the Jews, in case you hadn't caught on, is stuff that's extra, because I knew I'm the only one who knew about any of this. And so I knew that I'm the only one who can keep a history of the latter days. And I knew it needed to be done. It's in the Book of Mormon. But if none of this was going to happen, no, I wouldn't do any of this. I'd have more time to do my other stuff that I want to do. See, I got my answers with Paleo-Hebrew, but yeah, I could continue on doing that for the rest of my life. There's plenty of stuff to do. Lexicons, lesson manuals, alphabet and grammars. So there's plenty of stuff to do, but yeah, the church refused to leave me alone. The church has to be destroyed in order for me to be at peace and be able to do what I need to do. And so all these years, since 2017 when I started, I was hoping to get it over with, and it frustrated me that it wasn't it. That test after test, nope, 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 nope. Other fulfillment, other fulfillment, other fulfillment. And so this is finally it. Unless they decide to prove Joseph Smith is false. The Book of Mormon is false. Good luck with that, church. They're in a conundrum. Do they come out and confess the lies that they've been telling all these decades, 2 centuries, and say that Joseph Smith is the learning of the Jews and Jesus isn't our Christ? Or they continue to perpetuate the lie? And they chose to not just perpetuate the lie, but they perpetuate the lie by going silent. And that's a big tell. Is instead of warning you, they're letting you die. And here I am, staying with you to the end. I can't just abandon you. I am a first responder. And I checked. ICBMs can be non-nuclear, but it will require more of them to do more damage. So, yeah, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I am curious if it's going to be an earthquake on Saturday. We are expecting a great earthquake. That's from Joseph Smith. But that would have to come from God. Stars fall from heaven? Yeah, there's stars falling from heaven on Nelson's birthday on Saturday. So that fulfills prophecy automatically before it even happens. But an earthquake, I'm not sure how I can figure. I thought I had a pattern way back in 2009, 10, 11, 12. One of those times. I think it was back in 2009 when I was held hostage by the church, disappeared and tortured for 6 years. I was noticing patterns from earthquakes that were being announced on the news. I would mark them on a map of the world that I had and put the date. I thought I had a pattern, and then they screwed up the pattern. God screwed it up. And it could just be because the news wasn't reporting it accurately like they used to. Alrighty, we're done. We're at 40 minutes. I'm tired and I'm exhausted. And when this video finishes, it'll be after 2 o'clock. And that's when I get the daily snapshots of the stock market, the debt clock, the weather, and pollution levels. That's a newer one that I've added this year. So I'm trying to figure out if my allergies, what's triggering them, because I'm in a new environment now. had the rash appear this morning, and I didn't shave. Alright, we're done. I just wanted to get one of these tails, something on the backside. LDS to be sacrificed to non-Trinitarian Jesus idol God after being weaponized, law of sacrifice. I'm not going to get to all of these, that's clear. So yeah, we'll see what happens Saturday. If there is a destruction Saturday, then I can be involved in first responding, and hopefully we can get a caravan to head east. So, be nice if you were prepared. It would be nice if we can get organized, but your human nature won't let you.